puns, good action. I don't think it's a boring movie because it's streaming. It's worth a watch, I think. But it just didn't hit all the marks. It just seems more regurgitated than it does anything new. And we're going to get a lot of other great action that's kind of changing the game right now and turning things on their head. So why stick with the same old thing over and over again? So G20 was just a miss for me. I gave it a 1.5. Paul, is this something that is this one that you would really like to go see? Do you think?
Yeah, I honestly do. It's definitely one I'll stream. It's probably going to be one of the first ones I'll do for the outdoor movie nights with the weather finally warming up. Because usually an action is a solid one. So if you suggest streaming at home, this probably will be one of the first two that we end up streaming for one of our outdoor movie nights.
I don't know that I'd strive for this to be the first one I go for.
Okay.
But if you find yourself flipping,
okay,
and you're looking for maybe something actiony, something, because again, Viola Davis is a great actor, so you're gonna get. And I like Anthony Starr as an actor too. It's just the roles that they have here, where it just seems more campy and cheesy, trying to like I said, maybe like reiterate or regurgitate something that's been done classically before many times. But I would like to know what your opinion of it is. So if you do get a chance to check this out, let me know what you think. We're going to go on. Thanks for watching that review. Let's go check out our next review, Magazine Dreams, starring the great Jonathan Majors. We can talk about his controversies all day, and all I'm going to say is I judge by the movie. There's a lot of monsters out there, and I can't judge by them all, but I can judge by the movie. And Jonathan Majors is a fantastic actor. Everything he's been in, he enhances the characters threefold. And I just have such a good time with them. This is a movie that was made in 2023. It saw the festival circuit, and it was doing really well, catching a lot of great buzz. Jonathan Majors' character in the movie is a aspiring bodybuilder who puts all the work in, has the physique, he's trying to do it, but he also is a little mentally unstable in terms of his mental health, and he is prone to lash out violently. And, you know, he has a hard time like socially connecting with people. This is a really well done movie that gives you sort of an in-depth look at what the bodybuilding culture is, what it can be, the pressures that are put on it, the work that's put into it, and kind of how it can all fall apart, or, you know, if you keep pushing for that dream, work out. I've seen a lot of movies from A24 that are in the same similar style, like The Last Showgirl and others. This is one of the better ones. I really did enjoy it. In fact, the ending is sort of what, you know, kind of brought it home for me, because it is more of an uplifting one than you are normally seeing. That does not mean that this is not an intense movie. This is a very intense movie, and it has a lot of heartbreaking moments in it. And you will see that, and you will feel for this character throughout, but you will also be scared of him. And that's an intense thing. So I think you really enjoy this. This is one that I think you really might like, Paul, too, if you haven't had a chance to check it out. Is this one you're excited for?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I saw it just come out. We ended up seeing, what did we see last night? Sinners, Jesus.
Nice.
But this is definitely one I want to see. I wish I had come through any of the festivals I had been judging on, because I would have loved to have a chance to see it, because I do like Jonathan Majors as an actor. So I'm excited to see it. And I do have quite a few friends that have been on the industry, male and female, and I've just seen some of their struggles. And then talking about it after they've gotten out and how just everything that's going on. I'm curious how much this is going to line up with that. But after your review, I'm assuming it's pretty spot on with how some people go through all of that.
As far as an intense sort of drama, especially a look at the people, it's really like a lot of these A24 films are profiles on humanity and and especially mental health within humanity. This one handles it really well. Although I will say it does drag at times. It has its issues for sure and can be a bit spotty. And as it is, you know, you're going to enjoy it, because when you get to those beats, when you get to that acting, when he's delivering lines, you are sold, you're in it. But at times when it's dragging on and it's like almost relentless of what's going on in his life, it makes you take a step back and kind of say, all right, this has some pacing issues, and it does drag on the story a little bit. So that's why I gave it a 2.5. I think this is as for an A24, it's a good middle of the road movie, a good character study. A lot of this credit all goes to the great Jonathan Majors acting in this film. So That's why I gave it something so high. But I'm glad you check it out. You let me know what you think. Everybody else, check it out. Please comment. Let us know what you think as well. We're gonna get to the Alto Knights. This might be. I'm interested to see what you thought of this. But let me give a little bit of a backstory. The Alto Knights is a movie by Barry Levinson about the mob, the early days of the mob. Vito Genovese and Frank Costello were both friends that came up in the mob under Lucky Luciano back in New York, way back in like the 20s, turn of the century 20s. They were kids that were just completely in it. As they grew through the ranks, Frank and Vito were best friends and cared about each other, always had each other's backs. And Robert De Niro plays both Vito and Frank in this movie, but he plays them very differently. I think the biggest thing that takes away from this movie for me is that it would have been really interesting to see Robert De Niro play off of another great actor, like he did in Heat with Al Pacino and others. There's a lot of great older actors that I think they could have put against each other, like where Robert De Niro could have played against somebody like a Harvey Keitel or somebody like that. Even a Joe Pesci. I know Joe Pesci's a little more retired right now, but somebody like him with that gravitas that brings it to mafia movies. As far as mafia movies go, they've been misses for a long time, in my opinion. I think they're either a little underdone, in my opinion, because they can't get the big budget for like the intense action in some of these mafia movies, or they're overdone with that action and they take a lot of the heart out. And this has some good action towards it. You get some good mafia action, but I liked it. It was a character study of these two mob bosses that had very different styles and wound up becoming rivals in the end. And I liked that. They played it really well. Every character in it was pretty good. And this was a good mafia movie, in my opinion, as we've kind of gone on with it. And as we've seen as we've seen in most recent years. But I did really like this one. I think I would actually check it out again. Now, Paul, you had a chance to see this one, right?
I sure did.
And what do you think about it, sir?
So I was kind of impressed by it because, like you said, a lot of the ones recently last couple of years have been just kind of misses for different reasons. This one I appreciated because I like The Godfather. I know, there's so many reasons to like The Godfather, but for me, I like that they didn't. I don't like when mafia movies take a Robin Hood approach to where they try to make it look like, oh well, the mob boss is actually doing this for everyone else. Like, be honest. Like, he's doing it for himself. He's selfish. He's killing people. Like, at the end of the day, let's be real about what's going on. Yeah. And I liked how The Godfather, right? The Godfather glorified more of the family aspect of it, which is a real thing within the mob. And so I like this approach. Like you said, them growing up, you could see how they were together. And then the split was almost, I wouldn't say quite like Obi-Wan, Anakin, but you definitely were like, damn. Like,
I felt like I wanted to cheer for them to like become friends in the end.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What's funny about it too. I've actually interviewed him on the show. John O'Halloran, who played Nam in Superman and Superman 2, was on the show. He is the son of Albert Anastasia, who was the mob boss that Vito has killed in the movie. And this is all reality. So he was like the guy that was up in arms and was like one of the heads of the five families that was for Frank, and was trying to back up Frank and everything. That was John O'Halloran's dad.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He talks about the story in the interview and stuff, and tells old stories about how he would like do enforcing in the mob and stuff because he was a big guy. He was a boxer. So interesting, though. Very interesting. I thought that was a cool aspect. And as I'm watching this, I'm like, I remember him talking about like this aspect and when his dad got killed and stuff. So I thought the Alto Knights did a pretty good job as far, like you said, with mafia movies where they're not trying to sugarcoat it. You're right.
Right.
And that's what this is one where they use a lot of de-aging. I don't know if De Niro is just in it to win it with that, but The Irishman, whereas they use the de-aging, but it was sort of a boring story. This, I think, kind of amps it up a little bit, and I think you'll enjoy it a little bit more. So if you can get past the de-aging. But what's your score for this one?
So I put this at about like probably a 2.5 out of 5, maybe a 3. Probably 3. We'll say 3.
Yeah, only for me, I gave it a 3 only because the acting was very well done. And this is some of the better acting I've seen De Niro do lately.
Right.
So like I gave it a 3 out of 5. 2.5 out of 5 is good too, or 3. But yeah, I would say check out Alto Knights when it comes out on streaming. All right, and I think it is actually now. So go check it out.
Heck yeah.
Death of a unicorn. Death of a unicorn. Yeah. All right. Death of a Unicorn follows a father and his teenage daughter, played by Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, respectively, as they are driving up to the mountainside lodge of his very, very wealthy boss and his incredibly dense boss's family that lives there and all their helpers and everything else. And as they're driving there, they accidentally hit and kill a unicorn. And from there, we get a whole lot of craziness. They bring the unicorn back to the boss's house. Now they want to try and capitalize on whatever they can from the unicorn because its blood brings certain properties of healing that help. And it becomes like this intense sort of comedic. I think they try to play it in the trailer like it's more comedic than it is. But it's more dramatic in that sense with lighthearted drama, I would say, is more what this is. With a lot of interesting details about it. I did like the unicorns. I thought they were cool. I thought the idea of unicorns hunting these humans was cool. I like the lore of it all. But you're getting a lot of the same sort of tropey characters. The rich brat son, the mom who's like we just saw her on White Lotus season 3 with Parker Posey. Like you see these characters sort of regurgitated over and over again. Paul Rudd's sort of like this hapless father that is working too much and can't pay attention to his daughter. His daughter is sort of like she's just sort of a maniac with certain thoughts and how she does things, but like she is the voice of reason to this. It just was a movie that I was really looking forward to when I heard the premise, and it turns out that I just didn't love it. This was A24 is a balancing act for me, and this is whereas maybe I looked at something like Magazine Dreams earlier and stuff like that. I look at Death of a Unicorn and I'm like, this is one of those ones that didn't quite make it for me. So I give it a 2 out of 5. What about you, sir? What did you think about this movie?
I wanted to go see it opening weekend, didn't get a chance to. My friend Matt had seen it opening weekend. He was like, I'm gonna let you see it first. And then when we had brought up we were gonna review it, went to go see it. I had high hopes for this movie. Very high hopes. Great cast. The trailer was solid. New premise. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. It was tough. I'm not saying worth walking out or anything, but I found myself kind of getting bored. Like you said, the tropes have been like, it's just been done to death. I was just like, okay, you just changed the setting and a couple animals around, and there's a unicorn here, but this is 90% of what's out there right now. I was kind of I was disappointed. I won't rewatch this. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. I just was kind of blown away because with that cast, I expected it just to be such at least a solid, 2 or 3 out of 5, and it just didn't hit there. Like it was hard to get above a 1 out of 5 for me. Just there's no rememberable scenes. You know what I mean? Like I can't tell you one single line that I was like, haha, because I was just so okay.
I didn't have it either. I'm right there with you. I didn't have any lines for it or anything like that. And it's funny you mentioned that because I gave it a 2 because I thought the unicorns looked badass.
They did.
I thought, they handled those really well, even the practical side of it. I thought the cinematography was fantastic. A24 always has fantastic cinematography that matches. I feel like it matches the story you think or you want them to tell, but not the one that they are telling. And for me, I was like, that takes away from what I'm trying to experience in this movie. And also, I feel like they only touched on a metaphysical sense in a way that's very limited.
Yeah.
And I felt like that could have been more, or we could have at least had more of the hunt.
Yes, right.
Right. Like it just felt like so. Like I'm watching this movie for like 45 minutes or an hour, and it's like I don't care. I don't care what you guys are talking about. And then it jumps into the action, and you're like, oh, it's over. It was sort of that movie. So like a 2 out of 5 here is because really good filmmaking went into this, but the acting just wasn't there. The story just wasn't there. And it was a miss, unfortunately, in my opinion. But I think Paul will agree.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching that one. Let's get to another one and see if Paul agrees. The Woman in the Yard, a new one from Blumhouse. The Woman in the Yard tells the story of a family, a mother and her 2 kids and her dog in a rural farmhouse I'm not quite sure. I don't think they quite say where the setting is of this movie, but it's just out in the middle of a farmhouse, out in the middle of nowhere, like we've seen before. And had just experienced a hard tragedy where the father figure of the family passed away. And now they're dealing with it. It's about a year afterwards and going through the motions. The mother of the family, the matriarch, is just trying to make things work. The kids are helping her the best they can. And one day they wake up and there's a woman dressed in all black with a black veil sitting in a chair out in their yard. Who is this woman? We don't know. We have a feeling that she is strongly tied to the matriarch character. But as we go on through the day, she gets closer and closer to the house. And as that goes on, things start to go awry and become way more intense. This is a movie where the acting in it is definitely shines through. I like the lore of it. I gave it a 2.5. I think this is very, very middle of the road. Also, Blumhouse, one of Blumhouse's better movies, because that's not so much of a balancing act for me. So this one's more of one of their better movies. It reminds me in tone of like The Deliverance from last year. Although I thought The Deliverance was a much better film in my opinion. But this one was well done. Whereas The Deliverance is sort of an urban setting, this is almost a rural setting, and the lores that go on with each of them. And I kind of dug that. Like you see in many movies and many horror movies where maybe more exorcisms happen in a rural setting. It happened in urban settings within movie world, and things like this where like it's ghosts or it's demons or stuff like that. And I'm not saying it's any one of those things. I'm not trying to give anything away, but it's just one of those things that kind of stands out to me as more of a rural setting, which is ironic because the book and the story that The Exorcist is based on what took place in a farmhouse. So that's kind of funny. But I will say this. I liked this movie. I thought the acting was really good. I thought there were some really good, intense horror scenes, and the imagery was very good. I would say check this movie out, especially if you're a horror fan. It's worth at least seeing. Now, with that being said, Paul, what did you think about The Woman in the
So I was really pleasantly surprised by it, because after I saw the audience and Rotten Tomato score was closer to like 47, I was like, okay, it's kind of another Blumhouse womp, but let's go see it. I was pleasantly surprised. This one kind of reminded me of Lights Out, because I know Lights Out wasn't universally liked by most people, especially horror fans. But for me, I love something different like that. I liked how she could only come in the house if she could cast a shadow and things like that. So there are a lot of aspects that I was like, that's fun, that's different. And I enjoyed that almost cat and mouse, that kind of stress you feel where it's like you said, every time she gets closer, more shit's happening. Yeah. And it's like, why are you getting closer? It almost reminded me of the Weeping Angels.
That's a great, I didn't even think about that correlation. That's a fantastic correlation.
And that freaks me out. I'm telling you, that Weeping Angels. So like this, I was like, oh, like stop moving closer to the house.
Even when you say that and you saw her sitting all the way out, like, because you see it in the poster right here, she's out by the road. And then there is that moment where, because they go and they confront her out in the road. It's not like she's just somebody out there and disappears when they walk out. The mom goes out and talks to her. Right. And it becomes very evident that this is way otherworldly than she believes it is. And as you go on through the day, they do it so subtly where all of a sudden now she's maybe 10 or 15 feet closer, then a little bit closer. And then she starts talking to the kids, and then the dog disappears. And it's like, but my only thing with this, I would say, is I felt the ending was a bit rushed.
Yes.
And then that's where I compared it sort of to The Deliverance from last year, where I thought that was a really good confrontation of being. So she had to confront herself to sort of get, because she's so traumatized and like burn that trauma. It's sort of similar with this, and like what they're dealing with and where this being comes from. Again, I don't want to call it a monster or anything. I don't want to put that type of moniker on it, but that sort of being, like where it comes from. And I thought that ending deserved more, but I did like it. I didn't dislike the ending at all. I just thought it deserved more of that one-on-one confrontation sort of deal.
Right.
Which you get, but just not in a way that I thought was satisfying personally.
No, not at all.
But I think it is, like I said, horror film wise, and especially for a Blumhouse movie, this is a pretty good one. Go check it out. And Paul agrees. I'm actually happy about that. I thought you weren't going to like that one personally.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I thought I was going to hate it. I was like, well, whatever. But nah, I pleasantly was surprised by it.
All right. Well, I appreciate the review and appreciate you guys watching. Final review of tonight before we start the podcast. That's right. We're doing this out of order, but this is one I had to make sure I went and saw last night so I can talk about today. This is an anticipated movie for me. I don't have a lot of anticipated movies this year. And when I say it lived up, it lived up. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. Sinners, I think right now is my favorite movie of the year. It is a movie that tells the story. It's directed by Ryan Coogler, first and foremost. Let's talk about that. Who, in my opinion, is a genius auteur in the filmmaking world. And this guy had never done a horror movie before. And now he's done one and has shown that he can make a beautiful horror movie that just has great gravitas, a depth to it, like, you know, adds so much lore to vampires. First of all, like, you didn't think you were going to add much more lore, but they really did, and it was so wonderful. But it also, race plays a big role into this, but not just the black race, not just the white race, but like, we're really going depth here. Our main villain Remick, who is a vampire, is Irish, and the Irish and black folks from back in the day were very tied together, and there's a reason for that. There's a lot of beautiful connection in this movie that you do not see coming. Now, the story follows Michael B. Jordan's character playing dual roles as brothers Smoke and Stack. They worked in the Chicago underground for Al Capone. They were in the army, fought in World War I, and now they're coming back to Mississippi, visiting their old town Delta, and they're going to open up a juke joint where they can just play music, be owners, and just kind of live out their lives in happiness. They find themselves reconnecting in this with two old past loves of theirs. They're connecting with old friends. They're connecting with the town. They want to get them out to the juke joint that night so that way they can grand open, have a good time. Now, they are not the greatest of people. They're honorable people in a way. You know, a lot of people really love them. They stick up for they are, but they will shoot you. They are gangsters. They will do it. And that's the thing I loved about what they brought to this film. There's so many great actors, but they're not the protagonists of this film. That's the best part. There's a character named Sammy. He's a blues player. He's their cousin in the movie. He's a young boy who can play the blues, can sing like hell, and they need him to be sort of their mainline front runner up on stage because he has that sound that can just draw people in and really make them feel good. And that is a central theme of this movie. And a lot of that is beautiful. A lot of that, there's a very cool theme of how black culture is often kind of overtaken and used out in the world because it is a culture that brings something new. Remember, black culture has brought us rock and roll, has brought us blues, R&B, all of that stuff. Like every type of pop culture or cultural thing that we see in America is very much rooted in black culture. And they're saying that in this movie, that so much of what black culture is tells tales for so many out there in the movie world. And I thought that was a very cool theme to sort of add to this. I really love the intense action of it, but the story here is what really drives me in. You don't even see a vampire for the first 40 minutes. When you do, it's still sort of very like vague in what's going on and how it's working. But then you move on and things kick off. And I will say, if you're looking for a movie where this is similar to, taken a little more seriously, the drama is a lot better in this, in my opinion, but you do get some off the wall fun. I would compare this to From Dusk Till Dawn, which for me is like, once you get to the vampire part of it, it's much later in the movie. It's still great, but it's also like, you didn't even need it because the story you're getting all the way up till then was even better. You could switch this out. You could put like, the clan in there, things like that, as the antagonist against these protagonists and what they're doing, and it would still have the same sort of feel and vibe. The vampires are just an added beauty to it. They add this element of horror, what they are, but they also add a rich history to these characters and what they are. And the music that plays into it, that's the last thing I'm going to touch down on because I don't want to ruin anything. I think this is a movie you should go check out in theaters. But the music The music in this is brilliant, and they play Sammy perfectly because for the entire time you're hearing how great Sammy is as a blues artist. He's coming from his father's church, who's a pastor in a small town, and they're bringing him, and he wants to just play. That's his dream. He just wants to play, and so he doesn't get to play really until he does. And when he is on stage and he plays, it is some of the most brilliant filmmaking I have ever seen, hands down. Working with cameras, actors, choreographed perfectly. Everything about this scene is brilliance in filmmaking and this is something that deserves an Oscar. I'm not going to get it because it's horror and it's already April, but it deserves to at least be nominated. Now I've over talked. I've gone crazy over this, and I know I've missed a lot. We're going to talk about this, I'm sure, more. But what is your review of this, Paul? You got a chance to see it.
So I was blown away by the director as well. This was one of those things where the trailer looked great, right? And I've heard good reviews from it. I went into it, and this was almost a Jordan Peele moment where I was like, holy shit, I underestimated this director completely. I didn't think he'd be good in horror at all. He brought new elements to vampires to where I didn't know you could see vampires like that and they'd still be terrifying and almost cool at the same time. The casting was beautiful. Everyone was playing the exact part they were meant to play, which is nice to see instead of you being like, oh, I think, X actor might have played this part a little better, this and that. Everyone did amazing. Michael B. Jordan, outstanding. Anything negative I've ever said about him just being a kind of middle of the road actor, I'm sorry, I am wrong. You were phenomenal in this. Those two roles, thought they were kind of different people and they were fun. And even the choreography with their interactions in the beginning, I'm not going to give it away because I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but that first scene with those two, I was like, I absolutely love this. Like, I was like, okay, we're setting this up. And I myself do enjoy some blues music. So I like that. For one of the main goals of the story is dealing with blues music and might or might not be dealing with the dance with the devil. So I love that tie. And yeah, that dancing scene with him playing was amazing. I love that era. Probation era is a fun era. And there was a lot they could do with it, and they did a lot with it. But it was amazing how they just kind of take you through this whole journey of every character's life, but quickly, but it doesn't feel rushed. It didn't drag. You figured out, why did they lose this love? Like, why are they reconnecting? Why did they do this? And then even the fun scenes, figuring out that they're gangsters. And like you said, they will shoot you. So figuring that out, the one-liners were amazing. Once again, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but you'll know when you see it. You're muted right now. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I will add to that, though. I'm muted, so that way I don't want to interrupt you. But to add to the Michael B. Jordan, there's no point in this movie where you're wondering which one is he. There's distinction in just the way they look, their faces. Like Stack's face is a little bit fuller, which makes sense. He has the longer beard, but like he's playing it fuller. He's Smoke's face is a little thinner. So like there's differences in how they play things. There's differences in how they talk, they walk, they act. And whenever you're cutting back and forth, and there's even differences in their suits. Like one is red, one is blue. I mean, it really lays it out for you what's really going to happen here. One honorable mention I need to mention in terms of the actors in this movie. Well, not one. There's actually a few, but two, I should say. But Winomi Masaka, who played Annie in the movie, and Haley Steinfeld played Mary, the two love interests in the movie. Oh my God. They were brilliant. They were fantastic. They held it. I was wondering about Haley Steinfeld in this movie. I was like,
right.
She seemed out of place. I get what they were trying to do, have a white woman. I also like that she is half white. Well, she's not half white. She's thirds, I guess. I don't know what the percentage is, but oh shit. I'm all over the place in this podcast today. No, but she's black, white, and Filipino. So in this movie, it allowed her to play those roles a little bit more and kind of get in touch with her roots on that. And I kind of dug that because you could see her defending herself in that. And I think that was a choice by Ryan Coogler for this character to do that. And I think she played it off perfectly. It was just really well done movie. This is one I say definitely go check out in theaters if you're a horror fan. If you like Ryan Coogler movies, I don't blame you. It's worth going to see. So that is our review. I gave it a 4.5. What did you give it again?
4, solid 4. It might be higher. I kind of want to watch it again. I'm not gonna lie. So it might.
I don't
go
blame
up.
you. It could go higher for me, and I only go to 5. So because it was that type of movie. Right now, like there's some good movies that came out this year that I really like. Companion was a good one. This was by far, in my opinion, my favorite so far. So number 1 on my list. I hope you guys go and like it. But here's the fun part. That was our review of Sinners. Now we're done with our reviews, and we're gonna start the podcast. That's right. It's 8:04. Let's get kicking. I don't even know where Sturdy is, but I do know who is here. And that's the man right here. If he shows up. You're here too, Paul. You've been here.
That's what I was like.
You've been here. Okay. I added oh, there he is. There he is.
What's up, Chris?
How you doing, Chris? Puerto Rican Chris is back, and we can't hear him because for some reason his mic doesn't work. But whatever, we'll figure it out.
I just forgot I shut it off just in case in the background too. I was messing with the noise cancellation and everything.
I don't know if you know how podcasts work, but you need to have a voice.
People have to hear me. I know, yeah. I can't just use
can't hear
you. Smile,
no,
you know what I mean? And now I got competition with this guy over here. Look at his smile.
Stop.
But we are, it's getting exciting. We're gonna have a good time with it. I think Sturdy is coming or he's not coming. Roy is not gonna be able to do it.
With his
Sturdy will be here soon. He told us to kind of hold off. But guys, we have a fun show. We're gonna talk about behind the scenes stuff. We're gonna get into like what are some of the aspects of filmmaking that we really enjoy about movies from behind. And this was a Sturdy chosen topic, so nice. Thanks, Sturdy, for being here. We appreciate you, and we're just going to keep shaming you until you show up.
Yes.
But we do have Chris here. Paul's here. And we're going to have some fun. So, guys, I want to talk about them from behind the scenes. What are some of your favorite aspects when it comes to behind the scenes of filmmaking? Like, if you could see yourself in like a certain department, what do you think you guys would be?
Want to go
camera? Yeah, I'd love to be part of the camp, like more of the camera, a little bit more of a grip, something like that.
Okay.
Like seeing how they got certain angles, like how they played the tricks on the camera, and seeing like, okay, on camera it looks this way, but how it appears on camera looks completely different. And it's like, that's how we got the lighting for this. We made this work like that. Like, I'd love to watch someone like pick someone's mind. I'm not trying to get in my list right now, but one of them, of course, is The Shining. And just seeing the documentaries about Kubrick and just how his mind would work with figuring out lighting on a smaller stage and scale and making scales with the same lights, just to see how it looked. That blows my mind. Like, I wish my mind worked that way. So that's where I'd love to be, somewhere like right close up, but not like director, but like.
I like it. Whereas I liked camera a lot. Mm-hmm. Once my eyes started going, I was like, I couldn't do it. But I really enjoyed lighting. Especially the gripping, sort of. Okay. Like it was just so much fun to be able to kind of get in there and like learn what the grid was going to be, where you're going to hang everything, how you're going to do it. That was always a fun aspect. I always love stunts too. Stunts might be one of my favorite behind the scenes. Like, I love watching the behind the scenes and DVD commentary of stunts and like kind of what goes in. Watching these James Bond movies again has been reinvigorating my stunt love. And I know it's just going to grow with Mission Impossible, final one next month.
Oh my God, yes.
Chris, what about you, man? Is there any part of like behind the scenes of filmmaking that like you find like interesting that you're into?
Everything is notable, but at the same time, the special effects, the cinematography, and the stunts are the three main aspects for me that make it. I know a movie is nothing really without good writing and a good actor. That's why I'm saying everything needs to be encompassed and acknowledged. But if it was for me, seeing something from a different angle of being part of the team that made like a special effect and then seeing it come out the way it comes out in the final product, or with stunts, it's on my list, but there's certain movies especially that do things and you're like, how the hell did they do that and coordinate that so good to hit the beats and everything? So stunts for me, you're throwing your body around, it's physical, you got to use your mind, you got to keep yourself in shape. So I give tons of respect to stuff like that, especially after myself being in so many car accidents.
Damn. Again, like when it comes to stunts, like they're the unsung heroes. I think they're going to start. I think they've announced that they're going to start. I haven't looked into it. I hope it's true, but I guess the Academy is going to start respecting stunt players or stunt performers in general, and maybe giving them awards and such, which they deserved and have for years.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It kills me. It kills me whenever I would think about that. I'm like, you don't even like look their way. But I mean, there's so many things about behind the scenes in terms of filmmaking that, well, first of all, it's a dying industry right now. Nobody can find work. You know, California's washed. They don't want to work there because there's no incentives. So when you get down to it, like, indie is key. And I think that's going to be a big thing in a few years. Like, indie's always sort of been a big thing, but I mean, like, in a way where indie will free up states to start making their own movies and offering the incentives for those movies being made within that state. And that could be a very groovy thing. We can keep a main hub of studios, but why have studios if you're not even filming in them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I realize I kind of took us off course a little bit. But it's still behind the scenes, so it still works. So, in terms of behind the scenes, like when we talk about it and such, were you guys DVD watchers of the behind the scenes stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Habitual, yeah.
One of my favorites was the Alien Anthology back in the day when the 4-movie set came out.
Yeah.
It was like 24 hours of just behind the scenes. So I only made it about 8. It's so much, but the amount of stuff that they have available. What are some behind the scenes stuff that you guys have liked over the years?
The first one I remember watching was, you guys are going to make fun of me, is Marky Mark, Planet of the Apes. That's the first behind the scenes I ever watched. So that one always kind of sticks out to me, just watching how they do the makeup for all the monkeys and everything, and some of the stunts too, but they really harped on the makeup and the new practical effects they used for that movie. So that's kind of has a special place in my heart, even though I'm not going to say that's even the top 5 of any of the Planet of the Apes franchise, but it is what it is.
No, listen, but I mean, it's a big special effects worthy movie, so it's definitely interesting in that sense. But we do have somebody here whose idea it was for this.
Sturdy.
Listen. I can't help it if I have technical difficulties randomly. Just boom.
User error?
No, not at all. OBS is just like, you know what? I don't want to deal with you tonight. I don't want you. I'm going to make it a little tough. You're going to have fun still, but I'm making it a little tough. And it did.
That's funny. That's amazing. Well, we're glad you're here, man. We're talking about behind the scenes stuff.
Okay.
So why don't you add to it a little bit? What's some of your favorite aspects of behind the scenes work in movies?
Bloopers. I love
Seriously,
perfectionists.
You can't one word answer a topic you made.
No. Listen, I like seeing professionals like make mistakes and mess up, but still leave it in there. Because, well, 1, it's funny, but 2, I feel like it encourages others to kind of know they can do it too. It's like, oh, shoot, Will Smith messed up at this. He messes up at this. I can do this. You know what I mean? He's not perfect at this. Or whatever the case may be, whatever it is. With you, with a lot of things that you're great with the pot, oh, shit, Mick messes up at this. If he messes up at this, that means it's okay for me to mess up at this.
Calm down. Let's not spread misinformation.
I'd say bloopers, and then I would say getting to see how things are made with the special effects. That's probably first.
Absolutely.
But bloopers is definitely a close second because I love laughing at stuff too. That's another thing, another positive thing of it. But like, because I joke about this all the time. It's crazy how you could see them spend. It's amazing, but crazy. Someone can spend hours building, like, say, a sculpture of a head just for it to get smashed in 5 minutes in a film. But you're spending, it's almost, and for me, it's like, you know what you're doing, you know why you're doing it, but there has to be a part of you like, that's my baby. Like, I spent all this time with you. Really?
I mean, maybe somebody. I'm not gonna say nobody exists like that in the special effects world, but no. Every special effects person I've ever met, and I have had the opportunity to meet a lot, they love it. the satisfaction of all those hours of work is that like destruction of it or whatever his purpose is, but especially like if you're going horror, it's the like destruction of whatever they make. Like they just want it to look good, and if it looks good, they're happy. They want that destruction. So and it's it's almost a twistedness to it. I think you have to have a mentality when you're a filmmaker. And I'm not speaking out of turn here, people. So when I say that, it's like I really do think like if you're gonna have if a career in filmmaking, you have to have this mentality of we're gonna get the shot.
Yeah.
My job, whatever I add to this. So even if I'm a best boy, I'm gonna make sure the power's running everywhere so we get this shot. It's this beautiful unification of different personalities that all come together, and it's for the betterment of the art. And that's where I think we get bogged down in terms of like when we're talking about filmmaking today, and like is it art versus collaboration, and this, it is definitely art. There's an art there. The art is what is produced. And yeah, we a lot of times the directors or the writers and stuff all take credit for that, but everybody there is always set. We're going to get that shot. How are we going to get them this shot? What do I have to do? And that's why I think I think that's a beauty that adds to that collaborative artwork.
To me, like understanding that, like we said, all aspects of filmmaking is important, but there's this level where there's a certain amount of vision that's needed, and it's cool to be at the top there. And if you don't understand the vision, you can still be a part of it and still help that get done and accomplished and give that end result and product that's needed. And then you finally get to see that's what they were going for. You get that feeling, you did your job well, and everybody else hit their marks. Team collaboration, man. Working as a team, I'll never down talk that.
Chris, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Sure.
No, I'm just guys.
Jesus.
Paul,
I don't know why I missed you.
It's all good.
I had
Paul.
I can't pick on them.
Listen, I gotta say this, Paul, and to the viewers out there, I promise you guys, this is their relationship. This is how they are with you, even behind the scenes. Probably
That is true.
I would say better because it's funny, but worse for you guys. But no, this is the Jersey, New York love.
I couldn't do this with Sturdy. He kept getting mad.
He's lying.
He was like, I hate this. I don't like being picked on. I'm going to get Puerto Rican Chris back. He's coming back.
We need our punching bag back, man. We need our punching bag back.
No, he wanted you to like come back at me. He was like, you're hurting my feelings too much.
Nah.
I need Chris back to protect me.
I've grown.
He feels
no retaliation, no revenge. The universe will make all right. Now.
Oh my God, where were you?
You know what's funny? I'm not gonna say where you guys are, but you guys are states away again. A state away again. What is up with you two?
Hey, but we're in the same state, so what's up?
Yes, sir.
No, but Chris and Nick, they grew up a state apart, and now they're living a state apart again. There's something to this.
Yeah, I think
I know they
you're
didn't know each other back in the day, but
hypertizing the proximity here, because it is like hours.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I grew up
matter.
in New Jersey and he grew up right across the water waving from me.
He might have.
Waving to me.
Do you know what part of New York he grew up in?
Yeah.
Where?
Not by me.
What part? What borough?
I was on the Manhattan side across the water in Jersey.
Queens
Hiding
side.
by the bridges and tunnels.
If you were to guess, where'd you say he's from?
I don't want to guess.
Oh, he's gonna say it.
I think we know where I'm going to say.
I thought he was going to shoot the Bronx
Bronx
right off first. Yeah, I thought he was going to say
Bronx.
the boogie down. I was like, yo,
sorry.
not every fucking Hispanic, Latino, Puerto Rican comes from the Bronx, all right?
First one I thought of.
Do you see why I didn't want to say anymore?
All right, then where are you from, Chris? The Bronx?
Harlem.
No.
Brooklyn?
Border of Brooklyn and Queens, yeah.
Border. Of course.
I played both
Which
boroughs.
side of the?
And then I spent a lot of time in Manhattan because, it's cool shit in there.
You know when somebody says they lived on the border of Brooklyn and Queens, that means they lived in Queens. They just say the border of Brooklyn and Queens.
No,
so
seriously. Like
Brooklyn.
I was able, I had a Brooklyn zip, but was able to go to a Queens school because I literally lived on the line.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. They redistrict. They were like, we're keeping him out of Brooklyn. He was raised up in Queens. Keep out of Brooklyn.
Hey man, you know,
It's funny we all went for the Bronx though.
call me LL
I didn't say the
Gamer.
Bronx. You said the Bronx.
I just figured you were there hanging out with Fat Joe and all the other Puerto Ricans.
I would go to the Bronx, but that's where the Yankees play. There's a different story.
That's hilarious.
Listen,
You wanted to though. You wanted to go there.
like for what? For a Yankees game?
No, to hang out with Fat Joe. Be in a music video. Lean back.
Yeah, if he would let me. If he
Chris
would
is
let
the one
me
that
be
gets
on
you
it or
work.
work on it.
Chris is the one that gets you in.
I don't know
He
that
speaks
they
the
would,
language.
I don't know that they would let me in that music video.
Why not?
They would. You said put on a New York fitted
It was
and
the
lean back.
90s. I look like a dad from 1983. I
Fat Joe's like
Or
15
But
years
you,
old.
but you got that charisma and that height. I think they'd let you in. I think you'd be a vibe. I think they would
Yeah.
let you in.
I feel like if I showed up in a hip hop video anywhere,
Mm.
I'm definitely the joke of the video.
That may be
At
it.
least you're in a video.
I've been in videos and I've been in jokes in videos. So I'm not against it. What I'm saying is if you're
Okay.
trying to play
Here's what-
like, hey, his coolness would get him on that set.
Yeah.
That's
know.
not the angle I'm coming from.
Oh.
Okay, since you said that, what hip hop artist, if you had to be the joke, and let's just wrap this around for everybody, if you had to be the joke in the video, who would you want it to be for? It doesn't have to be your favorite because you also have to think of something that like funny ones. Like for me, it'd be Redman because his
Mm,
videos are always funny as shit.
I would say maybe Wu-Tang first would be the first pick.
Yeah,
okay.
'cause they might just beat you up in the video. They can get
I'd let Wu-Tang beat me up.
wait, hang on. You would let them jump you?
Yeah,
do you
because
stop
I
that?
have a feeling that if I let them jump me in a video, they would invite me to a concert. I don't think they would jump me in real life. Like I'm not standing there being like, if you want to beat the shit out of me today, you can because you're Wu-Tang. Like
That's
I'm
how I
gonna
took
say it anyway because if Wu-Tang's standing in front of me saying we're gonna beat the shit out of you, I'm gonna be like, if you want to beat the shit out of me, you can because you're Wu-Tang. But I am gonna run. I would add to it. That's the only thing I would add on in the end is like I'm gonna run. I'm not gonna get away.
Oh my gosh.
Just
It'd
lay
be
there, take
fun.
it, and then call your lawyer
He's
right
just
after.
Big later on. You talked to Big later on, like, yo, what happened to you? Said like I got jumped by Wu-Tang. Did you press the charges? No, I got an autograph though. Like, wait, what the
They
fuck?
asked me to hang out afterwards. They were like, "Hey, man, your head is soft." I was like,
And
"Isn't
they
it?"
really ain't nothing. They really ain't nothing to fuck with. I believe that.
I wouldn't have if I walked up. If they wanted to kick my ass, it's purely out of retribution for something, not personalized retribution. So, it would just be an annoying fan. I'd be like, "Hey guys, I love you guys back in the day."
Mm.
They'd be like, "Back in the day," and I'd be like,
What you mean back in the day?
When you were good.
"I'm
No.
subscribed to your YouTube channel. Does that count for anything?" Then it immediately turns into a Family Guy episode where I'm on the ground and they're just like, "Pop, pop, 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 pop," and just like punching me with a cloud of smoke over me.
Oh, then yeah.
They're beating the dirt off me. I don't know. Maybe Method Man and Redman if they did something again.
Yeah, they're funny. I'm just saying in general. It doesn't even have to be if they did something. Just in general. And I feel like mine would definitely be Redman because it'd be something fun. His videos are just funny. They look like they're a good
Diddy.
time.
Diddy. I would be in a Diddy video.
Well, actually, his music videos are good. The other ones,
Well, my skin is very dry.
oh, you want to be in one of those videos?
Oh, if we're going that way, I'd want to be R. Kelly and I'd want to be the Trapped in Closet videos.
Damn.
Oh, we would 100% throw you in
You'd be
that
the little
closet.
person in the closet.
Yeah, I would.
Oh,
You'd be
No.
standing there and be like, I'm not getting in that closet. You're getting in the closet. And all you hear from the closet is R. Kelly be like, did you bring your passport? Did you get your shots? Start singing it and you're in. I don't know, stuff like that. Like that's a good question though. Like what music videos would I like? There's a
What about you, Chris? For like a joke one.
That's a tough one. Lil Dicky, maybe. He's not from New York, but
Yeah.
No,
Does everybody have to be from New York?
I just said just someone that's for me. I just picked Redman because he's from Jersey technically, but he's a
Yeah.
funny ass. He's just funny. He makes great music. I love his music, but his videos always have me dying.
yeah.
No.
I probably rock out with Lil Dicky for a while.
I would
Heck
say
yeah.
Busta Rhymes, but that'd just be exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
He has way too much energy, jumping and bouncing around and shit. It'd be cool, like the visuals would be cool, but I'd be tired as shit after. Like, yo, Busta, you're like 70 years old. Slow down.
I don't think I could have a conversation with Busta Rhymes.
Really?
Nah.
Like I would be exhausted with a conversation with him because he even goes hard when he talks.
He's
Like
very
his voice is
animated.
always like very vibrant and very intense.
Hmm.
And it's like, dude, I am tired. We've been talking about like knitting for 5 minutes, and you are making it sound like the craziest thing on planet.
That's how DMX would be, I feel like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That
I feel like
rough,
DMX
but-
would just yell at you everything, but like politely, just be like, "What you really want?"
Because I feel like with him, at one point he's gonna be cussing you out and then praying for you, and you're both gonna end up crying somehow.
Yeah,
Like, what the hell?
it depends on what stage of his life he was in. If he was using, you know what I mean, everything.
You're hanging
Yo!
You got X sitting on a couch, and you're like, "Hey man, you mind if I go grab a drink?" And he's just like, "It's dark and hell is hot. Turn on a light." And it's just like, why do you have to yell everything? It's like we don't have.
He's like Samuel L. Jackson of rappers.
This is why I'm not allowed to be in rap videos.
You know what? Movies with Samuel L. Jackson would be yes. Oh, we're not on that yet, but yes.
Well, I feel like
yes.
you have to be so like Samuel L. Jackson, old, but perfect. Put him in everything. Why? Because he's cool.
He
If
is.
you're not cool and you're old, you can't be in anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I mean, think about it. How many uncool old people are out there?
A lot, but we don't know about them because they're not on TV.
Oh, they are.
Well, those don't count. They're not in anything entertaining.
Quite a lot, actually, Sturdy. I think we're talking about two different worlds, though.
For
Not
sure.
the hip-hop kind.
Mm.
So I will say hip-hop videos, I don't think I'd work in any of them other than being an antagonist to the protagonist.
Mm.
That's fair.
Nice.
I know what I am.
He pulls up to the set. Everybody hides their weed.
Hey guys, you know where I can get a lid?
Yo,
Like,
cop,
I don't
cop,
think
cop.
I pull up and I don't think they scream cop with me. Like, fucking guy. What is he doing here? We just want to have fun. We don't need him looking at us.
call PO. I think you'd be a PO before I think you'd be a cop.
Bounty
I wouldn't
hunter.
be either.
They'd be like, yo, who's
I don't-
got
I don't
warrants? Leave.
Never had the interest. That's why I got into firefighting, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And military or police. I never wanted to have to make that
Mhm.
choice of ending somebody's life.
Mm.
That's fair.
So
get that.
I removed myself from it.
Right.
Fair.
Rather than sign up. It's not like, trust me, I was not the only one. There's a lot of us on 9/11 who were like, let's go, ready to rock and roll. And I remember we were like, a lot of us were being stopped and being like, you need to think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens tomorrow. let's just take a moment and see what's going on here. And that was one of those moments where it was kind of like, yeah, let's do this. Let's just go. It's go time.
Yeah.
But I'm glad situations like that, because I have a very high respect for military. It's not a matter of saying military shouldn't exist. I'm a pacifist. So no, this was my choice. I didn't want to make that choice or have to make that choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew going into the military, especially in a time like that, I was 18 in 2000. By 2001, you knew what's going on. I was like, you know what? I don't want to have to make that choice. I'm pulling back from it. I don't want to be a cop because it's the same choice. Like, my entire family are cops or military. So it's like, I want to do something a little bit different. But like I said, military, I don't feel like, and I'm not making this political, but I don't feel like we do enough for military or veterans in this country. I know a lot of people are screaming differently at the moment, and I will scream even harder, but I don't think we do enough. I think we need to do more for them. That's why there is a lot of anger among veterans in this country, and it has kind of spilled over into younger generations because we didn't take care of anybody after that war.
Mm-hmm.
And we screwed them over during that war, and they deserve to be taken care of more so than they are or have been.
Yeah, it's sad to know that in the history of that, we went from being a country that after someone defended us or we had a war or whatever, they come back and they get a piece of land. You know what I mean? They get a home. They get, you know what I mean? And now it's just, nope, here's some taxes. We'll see you later. There's some doctors over there for you if you need anything, and that's it.
Well, I mean, that ended with Vietnam. Even the Korean War, to an extent. Like, the Korean War was sort of in the 50s. Like, there was still a lot of positivity, although the Korean War was frowned upon. Once you got into Vietnam, though, nobody was coming home to any respect. And that was disgusting. Like, again with cops, like, I know I've said things about cops before. I have a very high respect for the job, and I know what cops go through. They are underpaid. Like when we talk about defunding, I've talked about it before. I said more like reallocating. Maybe you don't need the big Bearcat truck, but I'm pretty sure a bunch of these guys desperately need raises that they haven't gotten in 10 or 15 years. And in 10 or 15 years, that's enough to drive anybody crazy. Yeah. You know, so there's a lot of things like that. So I don't have any disrespect for police as a unit and what police is, or what police are, and in terms of service and protection. But in a perfect world, everything would be perfect. But you can say that about all industries. Medical, fire department, all civil. There's always going to be issues because there's never 100% of dedication to taking care of those institutions. So they flounder. But that's anything in life, especially filmmaking. And I want to get into, gentlemen.
I have another music video, Mick.
Oh boy, fine, fuck it, let's go back. What's your next music video?
Listen, hear me out.
Boy,
the thong song.
I feel like
yeah.
Remember when he was doing cartwheels? He'd be doing cartwheels, but the opposite way and messed up.
It's serious. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pivot. I'm going to use this. I directed that to get to a point to pivot to the next thing.
Wait, you directed the thong song?
Yes, but that's neither here nor there. I'm talking about something else.
Which color thong would you wear, Sturdy?
Oh, I'm not wearing a thong.
No, I didn't ask you that. I said which one. You're wearing one. I'm just asking what color.
Okay.
No.
Are you going to wear a thong, or are you going to wear what Cisco wore in that video?
I don't know what the hell he wore.
All silver
He
with
wore
white bit.
I'm not wearing a thong.
Suit in the sun on the beach.
He looked like a perfect Hershey's kiss. Yep. That's what he looked like.
Yeah, look real stupid. I think you wear a red one. I'll wear a white one, so I'll at least be a little bit cooler. Just do cartwheels.
Wasn't his hair white?
Looks like an almond joy.
Like the little fucking tag on the Hershey kid.
Yeah, he does that stuff.
I look good in yellow. I'd wear the yellow thong. I don't know what you guys are scared of. Well, no, nice cheeks.
I can't wear thongs because I'm not saying that my penis has not been affected by Anaconda malt liquor. It has. I've drank it in excess for years.
Oh my goodness!
But I have what's called elephantitis of the nuts, and it's hard to slip them into any type of hammock, let alone a banana hammock. They don't stay in there. They fall out.
But your dick's down anyway. No one's gonna see any of that.
It's kind of weird because what happens is they're so big that they fall through on either side, and then there they come like those clanking balls.
Well, then it just looked like an extended butt cheek, just a little extra heart at the bottom.
You would think so. You would think that's how it looks.
I think.
But it's
show me Carfax. Show me the Carfax. I don't believe it.
It's more. You want me to show you Carfax and my nuts?
Show me your hog. No, like.
Oh wow.
I hope my mother-in-law and my father-in-law are not watching this with my son.
Oh, my parents aren't either. But what's up? Whatever.
Oh God. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not ashamed of it. Listen, it happens. It's been a long time. I haven't had a thong on in a long time. Sometimes you got to throw a thong on.
I was gonna tell you just tuck it, but you killed it when you said they just pop up to the side.
Farce. I don't even know if that would happen. I couldn't fit in a thong if you paid me. Are they make thongs in size extra wide?
Yeah, I'll find out. We'll find out at Fear Fest. Come this year. We will find out.
Oh God. There was don't leave that up the box. You know he'll come with something for you, Mick. Yo, Mick,
I'll make you one. I'll learn how to knit. Damn it!
Thong, it's gonna get lost.
That's okay.
In the folds.
That's fine.
It's gonna be like an aesthetically pleasing version of the sumo.
I just want to see cheeks. I don't care. I just need a little string of color and then cheeks.
You do not want to see cheeks. I have a terrible ass. It's an Irish curse. I have a terrible ass. It doesn't exist. It's
Oh,
not
man.
pretty.
I just want that
Um,
little triangle right below his tramp stamp, you know?
I don't have one of those yet. I'm trying to think of the perfect
Scene
one.
Snobs tattoo this year for Fear Fest. We could get the Scene Snobs right there.
Oh my
I don't think
god.
stamp. Oh, no, there is no. There is no. We got the logo. We're good.
Yeah. No, we got to get more. We got to do it every year, Mick.
Every year we got to get a
Why
tattoo.
not? It can be
I don't
Scene
know.
Snobs. Yeah, I want to do one again this year. We
So
gotta
this
do-
year,
we-
last year with the logo, this year you'll put the lettering, the Scene Snobs as your tramp stamps.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know about all that. I don't think that's a good idea.
His and his tramp stamps.
His and his. Oh my god.
We
Oh
can do it
my.
on our lips. Do like the Scene Snobs. And just float
Nice.
down.
Oh,
I'm gonna get tattooed across my butt, and ass was here, but it's gonna be spelled WUZ. Because that makes sense. Because wasn't 3 letters anyway.
An ass snob.
It's just cool to write UZ. Yeah. I don't know why that pissed me off for a second. I just made that realization where I'm like, wait, was is 3 letters? Why are we making up a new word?
Because Z's are cool. People like Z's. That's why.
Z's are cool in certain scenarios.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you guys this, because we all have one.
Mm.
And do not lie to me, because we all have one.
What?
And I will
Orange is
mention
right.
mine last, and I will be real about it. What was the nickname you wanted to be called as a kid? Like elementary school. Like if you could have been labeled something, what was the nickname you wanted to be labeled?
I don't
001.
know.
001.
I never thought about that.
Not gonna lie, 001 because I love 007.
Why don't you join us? We just watched all 25 of them.
I don't know. I wasn't invited.
That's
I'm
bullshit.
I'm just kidding. I know that's bullshit. I'm just kidding.
You're
I'm sorry.
lying.
I know.
I'm sure.
But
Mick-
no, double,
Thanks, everybody.
001.
I like it.
I don't know. I don't think I ever really thought of that. That I
Sturdy
can think of.
his nickname. He was like, I'm sturdy, and that's who I am.
And I have a few
Oh, yeah?
family ones, but as far as like one that I always wanted, I've never even.
What's what's one? I know one is like perfect thruster is what you were called, right?
I mean, sturdy just covers all that.
That's true. Touche.
That's true. That's true.
Sturdy.
Okay.
Chris, what do you
And sturdy dirty. That was my old PSN, but yeah,
Daddy?
I got locked out of it
That's
somehow.
another one.
Yeah, I never
Nobody
had
calls me.
any. Never really had any nicknames that I wanted to be called. A couple that I didn't want to be called, but I mean, as I got older, all of the nicknames started hitting: handsome, papi chulo, rico suave. You know, they just started all just compounding as you know. I started growing into my head. You know.
Have you seen the Rico Suave video?
Rico suave.
Suave.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Rico Suave. And
Oh,
that's
they
not
make
like
that
it's
match
funny
list?
because we're around the same age. Like you're I think a little younger, right? You're like in
Yeah,
37.
I'm about to be 39.
38.
Yep.
But like even back then, like in the 90s when that came out, it was still like people called themselves that. They're like, I'm Rico Suave. And I'm like,
You know, papi chulo. I could keep going.
Juan Carlos.
My household nickname though, honestly, and this is a little bit embarrassing, was Boom Boom for a couple of reasons.
I like that.
Boom Boom Mancini,
Oh,
the
how funny
boxer,
stuff.
because I was always hitting shit when I was younger as a baby.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and the song Boom Boom Boom, let's go back to my room. When that would come on, I would just start dancing. And I was like, one,
I get that.
what
Hell
I mean?
yeah.
So
That's cool, Chris. I like
My
that.
mom still calls me that shit. My fucking aunts and uncles and everybody. I'm like,
Oh, so
I'm
the old-
almost 40. I have a
Dude.
legal
They don't
name.
care.
I have a social security number. The government knows about me. Call me my name, please.
Yeah, boom, boom,
his
come here,
name is Boom Boom.
So don't say boom boom to you. You get mad.
No, I
Dude,
don't
if somebody
get mad
screams
about
out
it,
Boom
but it's
Boom,
more
do you
of
turn
a-
around?
No, I pay no attention to it. And if it's somebody trying to be funny, I just eventually I'll just be like, yo, not for nothing, reserved for the family. Like family, not family.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Nah, I got you.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? I
So,
don't take it
dude, there's something
personally.
behind you,
What do you mean?
Chris.
Yeah, it's boom, boom.
Like something. No, something's popping through on the on the green screen behind you. Hey, Boom Boom. See, he turned around.
I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm
Dude,
like,
it's
wait,
so
I'm home alone.
Are you? Are you though?
Are we ever
you're
really alone?
Laundry room is Boom Boom.
Whoa, I don't know. Not according to that song. You are not alone.
Mm,
How about
this
you,
is true. Mick, your
What was
mic
your
cut out. What'd you say?
My nickname as a kid?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Pooter because I have a gas problem. It's still a problem.
Nice.
Full transparency. But they call me Pooter. I can't stop farting, man.
That's. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was the nickname you wanted?
001.
Oh, 001. You did say that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I circled back on this because I got to hear Pooter. See what happens in podcasts when you just ask a question a little bit differently.
It is. You're welcome, people. You're welcome because this is all contrived from the thong song.
I wanted
all has to do with
nickname as an elementary school kid. I wanted my nickname to be Slick because I like slick back hair and such. It was useless. So
with a Y.
I'm sorry.
You are useless
it
with
took
a Y.
a second and everything. God damn.
Useless with a Y.
Hey, what was your nickname as a child? Mistake. Accident.
Yo, oops, get over here.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I mean, I kind of was, but Jesus Christ. What was your nickname? Mistake.
Here's one for you guys. Raise your hand if you were planned.
If you were what?
Planned.
Oh.
No.
Yep.
No.
I mean, I was abandoned as a baby, so obviously I wasn't planned worth a shit.
I technically.
Well, there was a plan.
Yeah.
That plan didn't involve.
I technically wasn't even.
It wasn't Plan B, apparently. Fuck.
Aw. Well,
I'm the strongest swimmer. That still blows my fucking mind, you guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Are you a strong swimmer though?
Yeah, I do love swimming, but
I mean, look at us.
I'm the strongest swimmer.
What kind of question is
How do you think
that?
they got here, Mick?
Yes, we can swim. What the fuck?
Oh my God.
How do you think I got here, Mick? Come on now.
That's
Be real.
okay. Listen, I meant in the pool, but whatever.
Look, I still got the boat.
It's
I
all
came
body
in on.
water. Get out of here, Chris. Damn it.
All right. All jokes, people. In this in the world today, this is satirical.
I
just
from
want
the
to point that out.
Commonwealth of the United States of heritage, but I was born here. Let's just say that now.
I want to expand on this and say I want to see these two American citizens here every week on the Scene Snobs.
Wait, which two?
Now, Sturdy can come every once in a while. Also, an American citizen.
Okay, that's fair.
Whenever you're available, I know how it works with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're done coming for y'all. I feel like they already got you here. Why would they want to take you back?
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway.
That receipt's been gone. Like, nope. I don't think that shit goes back that far. If I can't take my if I can't take back my Nintendo to Kmart, you can't take me back.
Nice. Nice.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
I love it. I love it.
Nintendo's newer.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Yeah, nobody's taking anybody back. We're keeping. There is no back. You're here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're all here. So, with that being said, and that was topical. Let's get to tonight's top 5.
Segues.
Top 5 countdown of movies you wish you were on set for. I'm excited for this one. This was a sturdy pick.
Mm-hmm.
I like this topic a lot. So I'm going to go around the horn. We're going to start with you, Paul, and then we're going to go to Chris. Going to go to Sturdy, and I'll go. What is your number 5 movie that you wish you were on set for?
Titanic. Not gonna lie.
What
I really wish I was on Titanic.
Oh, gotcha.
Titanic.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an
Honestly,
interesting one.
I like James Cameron, and I love that movie. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think that'd be a fun thing, seeing how they build all the sets and everything like that. I think it would be cool.
Although I think like everybody got food poisoning at one point on that, and they thought somebody like poisoned them.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the extras and stuff and some of the crew. So
It's cursed.
you would definitely 1,000% be one of the ones that were poisoned
That's fine.
because you would be a
I'm gonna
crafty.
lose some weight.
No, I'm not calling you fat. I'm saying I see you at crafty. All right, I gotta get my endorphins up.
You're not wrong.
Chris, what's your number 5, man?
Kind of funny how we were just joking about something similar to this, and we both have things to do with water and boats. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be a fun one.
nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of Disney movies.
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
Like I could see, like when I think of Paul's with Titanic, I think about the technical side of what you're doing there, and then you get to like something like Pirates of the Caribbean, where it's very technical as well, but it also seems like an intensely fun experience. Not taking anything away from Titanic, all filmmaking is fun, but there's one that's clearly a drama that they're trying to get serious and go with, and James Cameron really reminds me of that. And then you got Gore Verbinski, who's like, "Go ahead, Johnny Depp, swing away."
Like, I just wanted to be on set and just see this all day. From Johnny Depp.
None of the inventive stunts or locations or any of that. He just wants to follow Johnny Depp all day.
That'd be hilarious.
Well,
yo, Chris, what do you got for us?
I mean, can't lie.
That'd be hilarious. Yo, Chris, what do you got for us? What's about behind the scenes stuff? Well, I got Johnny Depp doing this about 77 times.
I know, right?
Just recording and talking to me as fucking Jack Sparrow the whole time. I swear, I would have loved it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to our number 4, which is. Oh wait, no, we're still on number 5.
You guys didn't go. Yeah, I was like, you two didn't go. What?
You know what it is? I didn't want to involve ourselves like that. Like we've been so involved in the show already. I want you guys to shine a little bit.
That's fine. Perfect.
No, I'm just kidding. Sturdy, what you got for number 5?
The Last Dragon.
That would have been a fun one.
The Last Dragon, because I mean, first of all, it's mixed with the Asian culture, which I do love and enjoy. I love, and I was telling you this when we did it over on Sturdovers. Well, we watched it at least. Like what Bruce Leroy was wearing. Through that, I love that style of clothing. That's damn near my favorite style. I just can't find it in my size right here. It's hard as hell. I'm like, what the hell?
What size are you? I can find that for you.
I like wearing stuff a little big, so like 2X, but I'll probably start wearing like extra large, between extra large and 2X.
Well, I don't know. It might be more expensive now if it comes from China.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not adding 245% tariff to get you an outfit.
No, what you do is you do like everybody else is doing. Just find out who the distributor is, the actual manufacturer. You go directly to them and buy it from them.
We can't. Hong Kong's not shipping to the U.S.
Oh, they're not shipping, period?
They're not shipping anything to the U.S. now.
Oh.
So you're not even going to get it. I'm going to make it for you.
Wow, AliExpress is going to be screwed.
I'm going to prove I can work in the sweatshop.
Not my Temu.
Yeah, Temu's done. TikTok shop, all that stuff. Good luck.
All that. Yeah, Last Dragon for sure though. The Last Dragon. Just the scene, everything. I love that movie. So it'd just be fun to just be on there and just kind of see how it goes. And again, with the Black and the Asian culture of it, with the with the food and martial arts and everything with that, and just the story. Oh my god, it would have been fun. It'd have been fun. It'd have been funny. But yeah, it's my number 5.
My number 5 is Jurassic Park. The movie made me want to become a filmmaker. Like seeing those scenes. Like I would want to see what it was like filming those scenes, seeing the animatronics at play versus the what they were filming for the visual effects that were way ahead of its time. Like that would just be brilliant. That would be my number 5. Let's go to number 4. Paul, what you got for 4?
4, I blame on you because you introduced me to this movie and I fell in love with it, and it's going to be one of the ones I'd love to be on set with, and that is Rear Window.
Nice. Oh, you would have loved that one. They dug out the bottom floor into the basement to make that set in the soundstage. It's all a soundstage set. The actors lived on that set. That was where they hung out during the day, their trailer, so to speak. So it was definitely an interesting one. I think that's a fantastic choice to work on set. Anything with Hitchcock. He didn't make my list, but for certain reason. But anything Hitchcock would have been interesting to work on, but especially that one.
You're right. And I still thank you for that because I can't believe I had never seen it till 2 years ago now.
Watch Rope too.
I like Rope.
Yeah, Rope and Rear Window I think go together really well. A good. I like Vertigo. Rope. Yeah,
I like Lifeboat. I like better than Rope. Surprisingly,
Lifeboat's a great movie.
I really
Lifeboat's that would be a good one to be on set for and to see how that was filmed, especially too because he was so good at taking certain spots and really elaborating on them through visual storytelling. Like he was so good with that. So like, and especially Rear Window is a fantastic choice for that. But Chris, what do you got? What's your number 5?
So this one
Number
actually,
4.
one of my viewers earlier, and I didn't notice the comment. He said, "I would love to be a fight coordinator on a film with movies like John Wick or Creed. They're so cool." And that brings me to my number 4, which was John Wick.
Nice.
Again, the
Cool and
style
heavy.
of shooting certain scenes all one shot with all of those stunts happening, the gunplay, the coordination for the actual like martial arts and all that. I think I would have forgot I was working and just been mesmerized the whole time watching this thing unfold in front of me.
You should watch Rope too. It's not an action heavy movie,
What was it?
but it is a oneer.
What was it?
You know, he shot it all in one take. Supposedly there are cuts, you know, he had to do, but they're very crafty in the way he portrays them in the movie. It's very cool to watch.
You said Rope
So you
too?
might Rope. Yeah,
Rope.
you watch Rope if you like John Wick style, like the one shot type of
Okay.
film. That was one that I don't know if there was one done before that, but that was a famous one, and I think Hitchcock sort of like, I don't want to say he created it, but like he was the one that kind of with Rope. That was an interesting thing to do. What do you got, Sturdy? What's your number 4?
Black Dynamite.
Nice.
That
That would have
was
been
a
fun.
Just because I'm a fan of Michael Jai White, so damn near like you're saying, any set he was on, it could be some of his B. I mean, his B. What I don't care, but Black Dynamite. Just from rewatching that yesterday, I'm like, this was just ridiculous and hilarious. And for something like that, for like comedy films, I know I'm gonna say this again for another one on my list. Just seeing how hard it is not to laugh at those scenes, like when you're in the actual scene, because that has to be hard as shit. You guys know me. And you know, if there's something, I laugh a lot. I can't help it. So it's like how that has to take acting to another level in a sense with comedy, just because of the fact that you cannot laugh for certain scenes that are hilarious. Like, all jokes aside, like certain scenes that you're not supposed to be laughing. Or if you're the character that's supposed to be a serious character that's supposed to not laugh, that's tough.
It is. Yeah,
That's
you got to regroup fast.
Being on the cast, not trying to laugh in the background is tough as shit. Even with when I was working with Dave Sheridan switching the script every time we filmed one shot and him changing the jokes, and I had to walk away for 1 or 2 scenes because I was like, I'm gonna fuck up this take because I can't stop. He messed up Dave a couple times, like where Dave would be like, "Fuck, I just fucked up the shot. I'm sorry."
Yeah,
that was funny.
I will say I'm guilty of laughing during a shot one time where they had to redo a take, and I was like, I felt terrible, but I was as an associate producer, so it wasn't like I was going to get in trouble. But it was, and like you don't really get in trouble. Like if you apologize, you're like, I'm so sorry, that was unprofessional. I shouldn't have done that. So like if as long as you're straight up, like people, but I have like where I like. It was one of those things like where they said they delivered the line correctly, like right, just like hit the comedic point perfectly, and I just belly laughed, and you could hear it, and it was just like, and it's like, and they did not hit that line again that way. I was like, that sucks because it was so good. So I ruined the movie, but whatever. I like that though. Black Dynamite's a good one. My number 4 is Citizen Kane.
Okay,
nice.
I would go there with a notepad, and because they did things cinematography wise in that movie, and in many other ways, as cinematography wise, especially though in that movie, that were not that had never been done before, but they set the bar, and it's still a high bar that they set with that. Like you can call the movie whatever it is. I think it's a work of genius. I think it's a spiteful work of genius. I'm not saying it should have been made over anything else, but the reason it was made, the story behind it, what they did in terms of to get shots in that movie to really get the genius of what Orson Welles was trying to do, and the fact that it ruined Orson Welles' career.
Wow.
It's all like that lore of it is interesting. So like to be on that set that would be an interesting one for sure. All right, let's get to our number 3. What do you got for me, Paul?
I went with Metropolis.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not like The Godfather. You would go like a Metropolis, huh? How so? Why?
Yeah.
Why? If I'm honest.
Just because I love silent films anyway, and I'm still amazed. Like even with technology now, I couldn't even begin to tell you how I could film.
Oh, the 27 Metropolis, not. I think I was thinking of the new one.
No. Oh no, I'm talking about the 1932?
Ooh, it's 27. Yeah. So
27. Yeah, sorry. So 27. Yeah. I'm talking about that one.
Nice. Okay, that would be.
That's why you were like Godfather. Okay, now I get where you're at. I was like, wait, what? I'm talking.
I was like, yeah, that's an interesting one, but no, yeah, especially for something like that and how they filmed, that would be a cool one.
It was just amazing. It was breathtaking. Yeah,
it was, man. It really.
And I'd like to see it in color too, like see what colors they actually had there, since it's in black and white. Like, be like, oh, that was actually fucking blue.
Like, what's his name? The green showing up on camera better in black and white, and that's the only reason he was green. With Frankenstein and stuff, like that was interesting. But Chris, what you got for number 3, man?
I'm a car guy through and through. I love chase scenes.
Oh god.
I love the cars being characters in them as well. Gone in 60 Seconds. I love the heist feel with everybody working as a team. I love the hijinks. I like, I know Sturdy hates Mr. Nicolas Cage, but still,
I do.
There's a lot of notes in that movie that I still laugh at. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Have you seen it, Sturdy? Have you seen Gone in 60 Seconds?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't like it?
I did back in the day because the cars and the women.
All right, fair.
Why do you hate Cage so much? He was good in that.
I just can't. Nah. I don't. There's. All right, I gotta ask this question to you guys: is there an actor that you just cannot stand? Like the look of them, the sound of them, just everything about them. You just cannot. That's what he is for me. He's just like that annoyance. I don't like. I hate him, but like not in real life. You know what I mean when I say I hate him. I don't hate anybody in real life. I hate Nicolas Cage.
God.
Nicolas Cage, we're putting out the challenge to you to come on the show and convince Sturdy to like you.
I won't show up, even if it's my own show.
Yo, I want to
you right now, if that man shows up
here like this and tell him about how unbearable the weight of his fame is.
First of all,
I seen that movie. And that movie,
nope.
So I was watching that movie with my wife, and that movie pissed me off the whole time.
Here's the deal. You're a maniac. It was great. Here's the deal. If that man writes the scenesnobs@gmail.com and says, I want to be on the show to convince Sturdy, you're coming on this show. I will go to New York City, find you up in Schenectady. I'm just kidding, but I will go to New York City too. Just stop by, maybe see a Broadway show, get a slice, and then come up to Schenectady, find you, make you sit next to me as we do this show with Nicolas Cage, tied up, gagged, because you don't get to speak badly of Nicolas Cage. But I'll use like sexy tie-up stuff, so it doesn't feel as like weird,
That's gonna make it feel even more weird.
I'm gonna stare at you the whole time I'm tying you down too. Just no words.
It's not gonna, like, when they see you tied up next to me, they're not gonna think, wow, this white guy tied up this black guy. They're gonna think, this lover tied up his other lover.
I don't think so.
Wow, dude. You're the best to say that too. I don't know if there's there's actors I definitely stay away from. I don't know if I hate them. You're pretty intense about Nicolas Cage though, but I think that's why he should come on the show and talk to you.
Nah,
win you over.
I feel like we'd get along as well as Peter and the chicken from Family Guy.
Nah, I think you'd meet him for 5 seconds. He would talk to you about movies, and you'd be like, yes. He would talk to you about horror movies until your like ears fell off, and you'd be like, no, this guy's great.
I would walk away from him.
You wouldn't even listen to him talk about movies?
No.
About horror?
Like, if I'll put it to you like this. If he was at a con, I would avoid him as much as I can. If I was hosting his panel,
how did he hurt you? Oh my God.
Listen,
this is deeply rooted.
Nope, not gonna host this panel. I don't like him.
You know what we need to do? Instead of doing a real combat,
show us on the doll where he upset you.
Here and here, listening to him and seeing him.
Sturdy, can we do a real combat just for Sturdy to convince him that an actor's actually amazing? Because he is. Can we try to do that? We
Sturdy
present our cases to you. But let's try. Would you be up? Would you be open for it, Sturdy? Let Mick and I try to convince you Nicolas Cage is worth it.
I mean, you could try, but you'd be wasting your time.
Okay. I'll take the challenge. I'll take challenge.
I think that I don't know that I could do it. I've tried for years with Sturdy to check out Nicolas Cage, and he just is not in. He's not in for it.
We'll get it.
I'll do my best though. Oh man, stupid mic! It just keeps going down. I don't know what's happening. I fixed it earlier and it was working, and now it's just every time I do the show, it jumps right down. All right. Anyway,
Number 3.
What's
let's
your
go.
number 3?
My
Me?
number 3. No, you did your number 3. I thought.
No,
No, you
No.
need to do your number. Oh,
Scott
What you
took a
got?
second
What's your
shot
number
at
3?
it.
My number 3 is The Raid.
Ooh,
I
that'd be
almost
an
put it
interesting.
on the
Just-
list.
Those fight scenes in that film, the movie, and how they're like going through the build, like going upstairs through the building and all that, and just being able to see that. I just like you were saying, how you'd be like amazed and like locked, like that. I would be locked in for, because I'm like, this is just so dope. And my favorite type of action film is more of the martial arts style, more the hand-to-hand
Mhm.
combat, and like the weapons that they use. Guns is boring. Guns and all that other shit is boring when it comes to action films to me, because it's been done.
Mhm.
I know it's cheesy. 80s did it the best as far as explosions. You're not gonna top that, in my opinion. It looks better now. It looks better visually now and all that other stuff, more realistic. But the 80s still just, because everything exploded. You could be brushing your teeth and throw your toothbrush out the window and hit a car, boom, explosion. We love that. You're not gonna top stuff like that. I'm not saying it was in an actual movie, but it probably was. Some shit we've never seen.
Oh god.
But yeah, like but no, there's nothing better than like the hand-to-hand combat, just the style of the raid, and it's like such a tight combat. And because in the first time he's just in that building, I'm like, oh, this is so freaking amazing.
That's legit.
That's
That's a great pick. The filmmaker in me for number 3 had to go with one of my favorite filmmakers, but I went with one of his movies that he only made because he was directly insulted, and that is John Ford with the movie The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
I've never seen it.
Somebody had said, I forget who it was, John Ford is nothing without his sweeping landscapes, because he was always known for these huge sweeping landscapes out in the West. And so he made The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance on sets to show that he could still make one of the best movies ever made, but all on sets. And I would love to see that man direct people in a setting like that, where it's so condensed. Because back in the day, like you watch The Searchers or any of his other ones, it's so broad. You're out in a desert. You're working with a lot of actors. This was really contained. So as a filmmaker, my next few choices are definitely going to be filmmaker centric, like what I'd want to learn. Actually, they all kind of are, but that is definitely something I would want to pick up. Like, because for the same reasons I want to see the cinematography in Citizen Kane, or how one of my favorite movies and a movie that inspired me to make movies is made. This one is more so to see direction at work among some of the greatest actors like Jimmy Stewart, Lee Marvin, John Wayne, like all of them. But yeah, that's my number 3. Let's go on to number 2, finish it out. Or a couple more to finish it out. Oh, what you got for number 2?
My number 2 is going to be the 1959 Ben-Hur.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Good choice. Good choice.
Love to be there and see that, even though unfortunately that gentleman died, but I still think it'd be beautiful to be out there and just see how they shot all that and making that whole set.
That whole, yeah.
Damn. It's
The
gorgeous.
sets alone, sure. Oh, so good. Great pick.
All the
Chris, what
cherries
you got for number 2?
Okay. Since I'm a cart guy, here I go again. I can't not say this one. The Fast and the Furious, the original one, the first one. Not in the 1960s or whatever it was. I know, Paul, you're mad, but hear me out, man. Hear me out.
He left. He's gone.
Damn.
You got rid of him. You can tell me.
Damn, that movie
He
came
went
out.
back to swim.
That movie came out just as I was getting into cars. It was like a year or two after I started getting into cars, and it changed my life. I went from reading car magazines, and then I literally started buying like textbooks that online from colleges to start reading how to work on cars, and then I ended up going to school for it and everything. So for me to be on set with all of those iconic cars that were done up from that era and the way they used to do it with all the modifications, the sound systems, the women, the shows, like times were different. And to be in LA for that, man, oh man, I would have been one happy mother foe. Let me tell you.
How many DVD players do you think you would have stolen off the back of that truck?
They wouldn't. No, I would have stole all the trucks, not just the DVD players. You know what I mean?
So you were a character in it. You had your own car. You were helping them.
Pretty much.
dig
it.
Pretty much.
Okay. You were the family.
I was part of the family.
You're part of the family. Oh my god, I love it.
I'm sorry, Paul. I know you don't respect me as much, but that's okay.
No, listen, Paul would be there too.
I
Paul would be in
listen and I don't judge.
if we were Fast and the Furious right now, we were our own little cast of our own Fast and Furious. You guys would be Ludacris and
I'd be the car. I'm
again.
gonna have all of you ride me.
Who's baby
Wow.
boy? What's his name again? What's baby's boy's name again?
See, you don't know because the movie was
Tyrese?
trash. That's why.
Tyrese. That's what it is. Tyrese. Dude, in fairness, 25 years ago, I would have known Tyrese's name because he was in every goddamn music video. He's showing up in every movie, and he was in some good ones. But I only see him in the Fast and the Furious now.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if I can't remember.
And that was the
I
second
do
one. I
like
said the original, the first. Okay, I want to take it back to Buster.
Oh yeah, he
Feel me?
wasn't in the first person.
No, I want to take it back to Leon, Letty, fucking Jesse. I want to take it back to that.
All of them.
You know what
Take
I
it
mean?
back.
I want to watch
Mhm.
Brian
I wanna take
O'Connor
it back
eat his
too.
tuna sandwich.
Oh boy.
I want to see
All
him
right.
beat the Ferrari.
There's so many great car movies too. Sturdy, what do you got for me? What's your number 2?
I changed this about 5 times, but Batman Returns.
Ooh.
Nice.
Big one. It's interesting.
It's my favorite Batman. Well, actually, 89 and Returns are damn near neck and neck, but it's my favorite Batman movie. I love that freaking movie, and it's just, I mean, it'd be a dope setting. I love the darkness of it. I wish Tim Burton could have had his say for more Batman movies back in that time, but you know they got to with the kids' toys, McDonald's, which I still think was just a bad idea. But
Yeah.
you know, because you see the next movies, but Batman Returns was just phenomenal in
Yeah.
my opinion, and just to be on that set, like, oh my god, so iconic. You have freaking Michelle Pfeiffer, you have Danny DeVito, of course, Keaton, and just
Christopher
One of the
Walken.
greatest Bond villains of all time.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken, yeah,
Playing another villain. Playing just as much of a maniacal villain, in my opinion.
kicked her out the damn window. He was like,
So
him and
crazy.
yo, between him and Black Dynamite, get out of here, bitch. Oh my god.
So number 2 for me, I'm gonna say a movie completely shot with natural light by candlelight. Barry Lyndon. I want to watch. Listen, there's a lot of Kubrick movies I would love to be on set for,
Facts.
but if I'm gonna be on set for a you got mother. I'm not yelling because I'm raising the thing up again, but whatever. If you're gonna give me a movie like a Kubrick movie where I feel like I can learn the most in terms of technical, it's a movie where he films it completely by natural light and candlelight, especially. So I would just love to learn the lighting aspect of this. How did you get it to look this way with candles? Stuff like that. Like, this is nuts. So from a filmmaking standpoint, it would definitely be Barry Lyndon,
Nice.
I think. And my number 1 is going to be interesting, but let's go around the horn. What you got for me? What's your number 1, Paul?
I tried to go with kind of like you said. I'd love to learn everything I could. So I know you guys probably assume you know what number 1 is, but it's actually 2001.
Space
okay.
Odyssey.
I'd love to see because I mean, those scenes are iconic. I don't know how he did them all. You know, I've watched the interviews stuff, but I just would have loved, like I said, to be a part of the masterpiece it is. To actually see them work it out, or be like we were saying earlier, like we need to get this shot. This is what we're looking for. How do we do it? Then just seeing it unfold and just being amazed because the movie's great.
So
Visually
you loved his
driven.
work with the moon
Amazing.
landing?
Yeah, I love that too.
All right, we're moving on. What's your number 1, Chris?
Nightmare
Better
on
not be
Elm
a
Street.
fucking. Thank God.
I guess that would be a good film set to be on, the moon. No, I'm kidding, of course. But Nightmare on Elm Street. I need to hear why. What do we got for me?
Freddy is iconic. During that time, they thought it was going to be a flop. They introduced a bunch of different things with the special effects that became such iconic scenes, like the stretchy wall with the latex, the bed scene with Johnny Depp. You know, the aspect of Freddy just himself kind of clowning around, his long arms, and just the lighting and the way they shot that movie. It translates well for what its purpose was. So in order to see that live, as much as he scared the fuck out of me just watching him on a VHS back in the day, but then seeing all that magic happen to actually make the experience go that much further and embed it in my brain as I'm helping make it, I would have passed out. Like,
I love it. All right, I like that. That is a damn near perfect script, in my opinion. for horror. But yeah, that's a great pick. I love that. What's your number one, Sturdy?
Now you know I had to throw some horror in here as well. But Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th. It's not my
Oh.
favorite in the franchise, but I do feel like it's the most important in the franchise because it's what started everything in the franchise. And I mean, it was an awesome movie, and I got to be on that set, like, or not on, sorry, not on the set, but on where they did the, you know what I mean? Got to see the set or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
But to be on the actual thing where they're actually doing the movie and all that would have been phenomenal. And it's it's probably one of the main films. I know it's the main franchise that definitely like got me into like really loving horror and kept me in horror, but it may have been one of the ones that kind of started me. I don't know what I've seen first, but that's definitely up there for me. It's really important in my movie watch. You know what I mean? That's like a favorite franchise of all time. Not the best, but again, because it's a part of my favorite genre, it's kept me a part of this genre, and I can watch them shits all the time.
Yeah. If I had to choose for number one, I would say 1959's Ben-Hur. An epic scale movie. Cecil B. DeMille. Cecil B. DeMille was the director of Ben-Hur. Right? He directed the original. I don't know if he directed the remake. I should double check that. It's been a long time since I've seen. Actually, I should watch it for this weekend. If I'm being honest. I mean, it's Easter weekend. No, William Wyler. William Wyler. That's right. He took over for them, and actually, he created the other character in that. Was it Masala, who was the sort of brother to Ben-Hur in that movie? He was one of the ones that really added the element into the homosexuality relationship between the two that they hint at through their how they kind of connect, and the love that Masala has for Ben-Hur, and it's much different in return towards him. I love this movie, and just to see little things like that, what they can get away with, but the sets. Oh, that production design. Just like with Rear Window, Ben-Hur can teach me so much about production design and what they did. And just being able to really make the Roman, in 1959, really make the Roman Empire pop in such a way that seemed bigger than life, but also keeping within the idea of like the story of Jesus and like how that played against the backdrop. Wonderful movie. I would love to be on set just to see how that was made.
Nice.
And those are our top five movies.
I got an honorable mention.
What's your honorable mention?
This one's a funny reason. I swear to you. My brother, Henry, literally just texted me, doesn't know we're doing this show, doesn't know we're talking movies, but I'm going to use this as he would want to be on this set. And he said, I framed Roger Rabbit. It was me, and I'm finally happy to have the weight off my shoulders. So I'm going to throw that one out there. Who framed Roger Rabbit? Henry.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of very cool animated, and like that being animated, such an ambitious project of animation versus live action.
Yeah.
Man, that would be really cool to see. And like you would think I would say like Back to the Future or something. And there's a lot of movies I would love to have been on set for. I picked these more from a filmmaking standpoint. What would I walk away from working on these movies? You know? That's
fair.
So
and then I got one that I know Mick deep down would really want to be on. He's just never gonna admit it to us. The Never Ending Story.
Music?
No. All right, I'm moving on. Thank you for watching, because The Never Ending Story is a terrible movie. It's boring and nothing happens in it, and then it ends anyway, so who cares? Not that I didn't want it to.
You're rooting for the nothing to win. That's why.
I'm not rooting for anything to win. I'm rooting for the movie to be over. That's what I'm rooting for, and it does end, but it ends unsatisfactory.
I'm surprised.
That's why they made a second one, Mick. The second one's even better.
Music didn't make your list.
Why would I want to be on that shit show of a movie?
Because I like singing. I'd sing along the whole time.
You said it was a good made movie. You just didn't like the movie.
It's a shit show movie. It's just stupid. It's just dumb movie.
I'm not arguing with you. Don't let Chris get in your head. Don't give him that power. Don't let him do it.
Well, let me do the mixed movie pick, and then maybe you can have that power for the closeout. I want to say thank you for watching the top 5. You're watching as a clip. Make sure you go back, check out the full episode. We did a ton of stuff tonight, and we had a good time.
Oh, yeah, we did.
But let's finish out a mixed movie pick from 1964. This April, I've been doing musicals for all of my mixed movie picks, and I've been doing, of course, the classic film reviews to go along with them. And from 1964, I picked a little bit different of a movie. It's a musical movie. In fact, I'm gonna send you guys over there for a sec. It's a musical movie that I think does fit under the framework of a musical, but it's A Hard Day's Night starring the Beatles. It's about their surge in the UK and America and going out on tour, and that's what kind of why it was made. It's sort of a not a documentary, but sort of pseudo documentary style to kind of give you a satirical look of what the Beatles' life is like and that crazy mania, Beatles mania that was going on. I think it's worth checking out. The music, of course, is great. It's by the Beatles. It's a fun, very anecdotal type of comedy in the movie and stuff like that. I think you could really enjoy it, though. It's shooting is very interesting in this movie. Because it's in early days of musical documentary, and this was taken from quite a bit going forward in musical documentaries. There's a lot that was learned from this. So go check out A Hard Day's Night. Also check out our next week. We'll be doing a classic film review. They come out on Thursdays. You can go see that. This past week, we just did one as well. And we also we just have Bye Bye Birdie, and the other one that we had come out for this month was My Fair Lady, and Little Shop of Horrors will be coming out as well. So make sure you check those out. Gentlemen, it's the end of the show. We're all here.
Yes.
Is there anything anybody wants to say before we get going? Why don't you tell them where you're from, what we're doing, how you doing? Anybody all
at once?
Everybody, everybody everywhere all at once?
Anybody who
Go ahead, Chris.
Anybody who let me
Go
be
ahead.
here tonight, I appreciate it. Make it always a pleasure being here with you and Paul. Sturdy, you already know. I don't even gotta say nothing to you, but I am the worst damn gamer ever. You can catch me streaming on TikTok, YouTube, and Kick. My Twitch account will be back, but go check out the YouTube channel because there's over 600 plus videos on that channel. So go enjoy if you like Fortnite, if you like movies, if you like music, and you like rants. I'm your guy. Oh, also Motivational Mondays, my motivational streams gaming. So go check that out.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Sturdy, we got from me, my friend.
I'm gonna hop on some Phasmophobia tonight. Don't know who I'm gaming with because the light skins got scared. They're pretending they have other things to do, pretending they're spending time with their children, but they're just scared. But I'm gonna hop into that. I know Paul's jumping in with me.
I think I
And,
might jump on too.
see who else is gonna jump on to hunt some ghosts with us. But you can catch me at Horror with Search 30 every Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Vision Gaming starting every Friday at about 10:30 at night, and Popcorn and Pints every Saturday at 9 o'clock Eastern time. We are doing the Bond movies. We're actually doing Casino Royale and I forgot the other one. What's the other one?
Quantum of Solace.
Boom, Quantum of Solace.
We watched them in order. We are up to the Daniel Craig movies. So we got 5 more left.
Craig.
We'll be reviewing those. We're having a really good time with it. And then we're getting back to the wheels. And make sure you join us for the double features. And on Thursday, that's Sturdy night. You got to go out and you got to make sure you're hanging out with Sturdy.
Yes.
And doing that. And now that we're on our new night and time of Fridays, Paul, you want to say anything before we get going?
Hey, you guys be safe this weekend. I know everyone's traveling for Easter and all that. Enjoy time with the family. I know some people, maybe you don't have family. I hope you still have a great holiday or great time together, whatever you celebrate. Just enjoy each other. Try to catch a good movie. There are great movies out right now. Go see Sinners. You ain't got nothing to do. Go see it. Make a good memory. Love it. And if you hate it, you're wrong.
There you
Love
go.
you guys.
Or you're racist.
No. I mean, if you do hate it, there's a possibility. So, and listen, I'm not, you can poke all you want. I'm not going to go there. I won't say it. It is a very good movie though. Go check it out for sure. There's a lot of fun,
I've only heard good things, so I'm excited.
That's fair. I am too. I'm excited to keep doing this podcast, and I appreciate you guys being a part of it and hanging out with us and having a good old time. We're just having fun doing some talking and hanging out, and I want to appreciate these fine gentlemen for joining in tonight. Paul, thank you. Of course, Chris, thank you so much for coming back. Go check out Worst Damn Gamer Ever. Go check out Horror with Sir Sturdy, where you can get a bunch of great shows. Go check out Popcorn and Pints. We'll be on there tomorrow night live at 9 p.m. And Phantom Phobia tonight. Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia, yes, sir.
Phasmophobia tonight. Listen, as a guy who used to do, before the days of ghost hunters and all those, who used to do ghost hunting, it is very realistic looking. And it's scary because there's no such things as ghosts. But in this video game, there are. And they come after you. And it's scary.
It is.
But I have a good time with it, and it's always a lot of fun. So I want to say thank you guys again for joining in. Thank you all for watching, listening, supporting. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Join up on the Patreon. There's a free tier. There's paid tiers. The paid goes back to helping out the channel. We really appreciate it. It pays for us to be able to do all this stuff. Or you can join for free, and there's some perks there as well. But I love for you guys to be a part of it. Follow us on Letterboxd, Substack. We're on Blue Sky, Facebook, the whole nine. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Until next time, remember to be kind, take care of yourselves because that's important, and always stay classy because, hey, when Scene Snobs says stay classy, you'd better stay classy. That makes no sense, but whatever. That's how I'm going to end the show.
Gassy and gassy.
Stay classy, but don't stay gassy like Pooter.
Later, Pooter.